Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for a new video where we will see this time some good practices when you write your bash scripts. So bash is a weird language and it has a lot of drawbacks and pitfalls, and that's why I thought it would be interesting to just look at different ways to make sure that our scripts are working as they should work. So let's go. Here we have a script which is doing a backup. So copying every folders, every directories, and files from one directory to another. So here I have the directory source, and if I run and destination, and if I look at them, you can see that source has a bunch of stuff, destination doesn't have anything, it's totally empty. And when I run backup.sh, well, now destination has exactly the same thing as source, and if I run the script again, and it won't change anything. If I delete something in source, it will be deleted in destination if I run the script again. So it's really a backup between two files, and it's interesting to have this kind of scripts because you can back up whatever you want on a hard disk, external hard disk, for example, or other stuff. If you want to know what's happening in this script, I've made a video about it. I will put it upstairs on your screen. Okay, so now this is a very simple script, and let's add some stuff to just make it more robust and less prone to errors. So the first thing I would add here is this set -euo pipe fail. So set means that you will set some options, and -e means that the script will stop when any command in the script return something else than 0. Because for example, if I do echo lala, well, it will echo lala, and then if I do echo this variable, which is a special variable, it returns 0. What does it mean? It means that my command just before my echo lala was successful. When a command in bash is successful, it returns 0. When it's not, it returns something else, 1, 2, 3, 100, depending on the command. So this -e means that the script will stop if a command doesn't succeed, if a command doesn't return 0. As we just saw. So it's useful because you don't want your script to continue when a command fails, because afterwards maybe bad stuff will happen because of this failure. So it's really nice to have it. It's not advised to use it if you have commands which will fail. Like for example, dd. If you use dd to copy one disk to another, or copy something to another disk, for example, it will fail at the end when the disk is full, for example. And sometimes you want that, but it's rare. Like most of the time, I would advise you to use at least set -e. So -u prevents you to define variable which are to use variable which are not defined. For example, if I without this -u, if I do echo hello, which is a variable which doesn't exist, and if I try to run my script, well, nothing happened. It's like nothing, everything is normal. I mean, I can delete everything from destination, and you will see that everything works. Everything was copied into destination. Everything is normal, but I mean, the variable hello doesn't work, so it should do something maybe. So if you add this u here, and now you try to run the script, you have an error, hello unbound variable. So it's nice to have as well, because you need to know when you use a variable which doesn't exist. Okay, and minus o pipe fail, it's a bit different because when you pipe stuff, like for example, when you do in your normal shell echo, I don't know, and then you grab that, echo hello, and then you grab that, there is an error because you need some option to grep and some patterns of, some file afterwards. A grep doesn't work without option and file. Without file, sorry. The minimum is file. You don't even need option. But at least there is no file, so it gives you an error. But if you do sort at the end, well, it still give you an error, but if you do echo the return, it's a 0, which means that everything went right because sort at the end returns 0. Even if in the middle of your pipelines something fails, it's still good. And when you do exactly what we did, if you do grep and if you do sort, there will be the error, but the script will continue to run anyway. And it's not what we want. Again, if there is an error somewhere, we want the script to stop, to not just have a chain reaction and have more errors and maybe big errors coming up, like, I don't know, files which are deleted randomly, or you never know. And we need to control, our script, and the errors should stop everything. So you see that I put exactly the same command here in my script, and if I run my backup again, well, it doesn't continue, it just stops at the error. But without the -o pipe fail, so without this useful option, if I do it again, this time you see here that it will go through the script even if you have an error in the middle of your pipelines or pipes. I don't know I don't know if a set of pipe and commands has a name, but yeah. So this is really useful. You can use X if you want to debug your script, which is quite handy as well. So I will delete this stuff and I will run the backup again. I will delete everything destination to have a bit more output. And I will run the backup, and you see here everything which is executed. So first it begins with creating a map, then it goes through the loop, then and so on and so forth. Let's reintroduce our error here, and you see everything which was executed till the error, which is quite nice to debug. So it's -x. All right, so that's a very good beginning, but now what I would like to do in my script is to add a possible argument to run dry run or not. Because right now, since our command rsync here can delete some files, it's a bit dangerous. So -- dry run will test and output if the command rsync was running, even if it has no effect. So it's a test. It's a test with the output, and you can look at the output and see if everything goes right. And if everything goes right, you would need to delete the dry run to really affect what you want to affect, to really copy from source to destination. So I would like to have an argument for my script to add the dry run or not. And for that, I have another snippet I'm using with Vim. So you saw the snippet safe I have, and it automatically puts all the options I need. I have another one, which is I don't remember. What it was. Oh yeah, I know. Get option. Yeah. So here I can put the version of my script, 1.0. Here there is a function usage which is quite practical because it adds some help. And here you can see there is a whole block of code which allow me to add options to my script. So basically it goes in a loop and it verifies if it has H or V, and in case of H added, it will run as H, which is the function we saw just before, this one. So it will basically display the help, and if version, it will echo the version that is the variable we saw before. You see on line 9, script version equal 1.0, it will display that. But we can add stuff here. Oh, before that, I wanted to explain as well quickly the shift opt-in -1. It's because when you add arguments, options to your script, you know, you can call them in your script using 1 for the first option, 2 for the second. And what does shift opt-in is whatever argument you put, I mean, you add it. For example, if I run backup.sh-h, you see it displays the option as we just saw. But in that case, if I do -h and -d, I don't know, for dry run, -d would be usable here in the script with $2 because it's the second option passed to the script. Now this shift allows us to just forget this option we have, and whatever option are added after these options begin with 1. So in my case, -d would be $1 and not $2, which is quite handy because you don't, I mean, imagine you have 10 options in there and then you expect, I don't know, some file name for your script. You don't have to remember that there is 10 options before and then you need to call 11 and stuff like that. Okay, so we want an option to add the dry run in our rsync command. So we can use D here, and first of all, I mean, what we need is to control at the end what argument as rsync. So what I will do is I will delete every argument here. So rsync doesn't have argument anymore. And I will add the argument into an array. Because if you want to add argument dynamically to your command in a bash script, it's always better to use an array. So we want this argument by default. And then if we have the D for dry run, in that case, we want to add an option, and to add an option, to add an element to an array, you can do plus equal, like that, and then we want to add the option dry run. So here I'm just appending a new element in my array of options for rsync. Now I need to add, of course, the different options here to rsync, and I do that by just output the whole array as a string, and I can I need to put some double quotes here, otherwise I can have some problem. And finally, I can come back here and add some help. Oops, dry run async with dry run for test. I don't know, maybe there is more, there is better way to do that. I mean, it's not a very good explanation maybe, but it's enough for now. And now we can test. First of all, let's see if the help was updated. Yes, here's the help, perfect. And now I will delete everything from destination and I will run the script with -d. What happened is nothing, which is weird. And if I don't use -d, it works. Weird, weird, weird. What did I miss here? Oh yeah, I know. No, I added it. Damn. Well, what we can do is adding x here and see what happens. See what's called, right? Oh, it exits. Just after adding async dry run to the option, it exits because there is exit here, which is not good at all. I don't want to exit, I want to continue my script. Okay, so let's try again, and this time it looks like it worked. Yes. So let's go back here, let's delete this X to not have the debug anymore, and let's try, and you see here async is running with dry run, which is what we want. So let's test properly. I will delete everything in destination and I will run backup.sh with a dry run option. And normally if I do 3 on destination, there is nothing in there because it was just a test to see if everything worked as expected and for me to look at the output. And it worked. There is nothing in destination. Now, if I delete the -d and I run it again, and this time it did the actual work. So that's all for today. You can find this script on my GitHub account. I will link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you'll have a nice day. And if you like my channel, if you like my videos, if you like this video, if you like cats, and if you like many things in life, you should subscribe, you should like, you should share, you should download it, copy it in on every of your hard disk using AirSync, of course. Thanks a lot. I wish you a great rest of your day.